time my mind, it won't forget. This time my mind, we're not there yet. This time it goes faster and faster. This time my mind, we're not there yet. This time my mind, it won't forget. This time it goes faster. This time my mind, it won't forget. This time my mind, we're not there yet. This time my mind, it won't forget. This time it goes faster and faster. it's always a surprise when, oh, it's always a surprise when the tide comes in, when the tide comes in. But it's always a surprise when, oh, it's always a surprise when you call again, when you call again. Oh, I'm not supposed to answer, I'm not supposed to know. The silence answer, I've got to let it go. I'm not supposed to answer, I'm not supposed to know. The silence answer, I've got to let it go now. Give it away while you were barely alive and you learned that day. Cut off so much, how they remain, while you knew that there was still a way. Cry again and try anyway, well you got 'em back but then you had to pay. Stand up, push out still to this day, while you knew that there was still a way. This is your only plan, oh now this is your only. Now this is your only plan, oh now this is yours. That's fine. It's all you've ever known, a single state of mind. But you won't ever let it go. When you had the answer, when you were there alone, you left the door unopened when you knew that you would want more. Give it up, give it away while you were barely aware. You learned that day. Cut off so much, hardly remain, while you knew that there was still a way. This is your only plan, oh now this is your only. Now this is your only plan, oh now this is yours. And you're right, you force it to yield, you forge it to the lines, you let your callous be your shield.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to some Fireside casts. We're on the Fireside 1 channel tonight. Nice upgrade for us, and we're going to be casting some intermediate for this week 4A, I believe. This is going to be a pretty sick match to watch. It should be close to the decider match in my eyes, at least. Going off of placements right now. So, yeah, it should be a really good match for us tonight. As both of these teams, I believe, are undefeated going into the week. So, really, really excited to see what the M is looking like this season.
Definitely. These teams are undefeated, both of them, so they are going to be bringing a lot to the table. I think we're going to see a super close match. There's going to be some bare knuckle boxing going on. That's what I think we're going to witness tonight.
Yeah, I'd love to see it. I mean, I know of a lot of these players personally as well, and I know that there's a little bit of friendliness, but also a little bit of beef as well. I mean, obviously, competition, you want to be the best and you want to be anybody, no matter who is in your way. So sometimes it does have to be your friends as well. So, a lot riding on this match for both of these teams. It's going to be a big tell for the rest of the season, in my eyes, at least, for how IM is going to shape up going into, the later weeks and then playoffs.
True. And again, yeah, as you were saying, there's a lot of people that, personally. I know some of these people as well. I used to be on a team with I'm actually not sure how many people are on 6-8 Club that used to be on my team. Let me take a little gander at the roster. So, yeah, I know their medic and I know their flank scout. So I used to be on a team with both these people. Very strong players. I'm interested to see how they're going to play now that they're on different classes. I think the med for 6-8 Club is a med main at heart, but their flank scout, I don't know if they're just a scout player in general or if they like pocket more or whatever, but they were a super strong pocket when I had them. So
yeah, 100%.
I guess
a lot of strong
we'll
players.
see.
Yeah, I mean exactly what you're saying as well. I mean, a lot of these people are pretty familiar with each other, and especially on their own rosters, right? But this is kind of the place to show actually, the competitive side of things, just aside from, playing pugs or playing in pug scrims and stuff like that. So genuinely excited to see how these teams compose themselves and how they actually play when they're trying to play full serious, right? I mean, you can see a lot of different sort of impressions of people just based off of performances in pugs and stuff like that. But when they come together as a cohesive unit under one main color as well, it's a completely different game. So very excited to see this match going on. It's going to be Snakewater here tonight. So we've had a lot of time before, if anybody else has watched any of our casts before, talking about Snakewater just conceptually as a map. It's pretty interesting, and it's still got a lot of depth to it, even though, it kind of seems like a pretty one-dimensional mid. Um, there's so much to it, and then also just the skill checks and how confident people are on holds as well can be a big determining factor for if teams are going to get steamrolled or be able to hold on really well on a map like this. I mean, we see other regions as well that just have very dominant holds on this map, so going to be on the players from both of these teams to have their demo reviews done to, figure out what's going on tonight, how they're going to play their maps.
Yeah, I think that the teams are discussing the server right now. I don't think they are very happy that
Kansas
the
server.
ping, Kansas server. Somebody's gonna have ungodly routing. I guarantee it. We're gonna watch somebody join, and he's gonna have like 200 ping. He's gonna be like, I can't play, and then they're gonna be forced to go find another server. Maybe they'll get the Plinko server. Who knows?
So
but
hopefully not too long of a delay on that. But
yeah, hopefully.
I don't know. Do you have any predictions, really, just preliminary predictions before we really get into the discussions about this? What are we thinking right now, just off of your first impressions of these players?
First impressions, I mean, Chocolate used to be my demo and soldier mentor when I played in both IM and AM, so I know he's very strong. If he's playing soldier, then he's definitely going to be putting on a show for us. I know that his mechanics are very, very strong. Doorknob, I know, is a very capable beam. So I think I didn't get to play with him on Med long during my AM season, but there were a couple times we would have like off-class scrims just to have fun and whatever, and they would play beam, and they were pretty good at it. So I personally, it's hard for me to say who I think is going to win, but if I had to throw a wild guess out there, I would have to say it's going to be 6-8 Club, just because I think their team is just the stronger roster. I think their players are slightly better than that of Classic Mix-Up, but I also think at the same time that it is anybody's game. If you want me to make like a more in-depth guess, I honestly have zero clue who could take home the W today.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of up in the air, right? And that's kind of what we're expecting for, both of these teams right now. I think that we're going to be switching over servers right now. I want to make sure that our production is all over on the correct server and all that, but making sure that we're on a Chicago server so that one player can get their 5 ping. The 5 ping rockets do matter. So want to make sure that poor little baby can get his little 5 ping scout so he doesn't cry about no reg. Anyways, but
you got some beef
switching
over there. You got some
little
experiences.
bit, man, a little bit. People were a little bit annoying about trying to get servers before in the past, so I might just have a little trauma there. But
fair enough.
Getting this sorted out real quick. I imagine we shouldn't be too long of a delay, as I know that these teams are raring to go as well, and they've had their pre-games there. Just itching to get this show on the road and show their first mid, right?
Yeah, and I guess while we're on that topic, we don't want to keep these teams waiting for too long. I know they're probably going rabid and feral, waiting to fight each other, foaming at the mouth. So I think we should transition over to looking at these rosters as quickly as possible.
Oh, yeah,
I think
I'd love to.
I'm going to steal the 6-8 Club roster away.
Yeah, go right ahead.
Starting off, your roster for 6-8 Club is going to be Pocket Scout, Sempar, Flank Scout, Johnny, Chocolate, Pocket Soldier, Roamer is 2x4, your demo is JJ, and your beam is Doorknob.
Yeah, and then so for Classic Mix-Up, not the original Classic Mix-Up, might I add, on Pocket Scout we have Cyrus, Flank Scout we have Abominamicon, goated name. On your Pocket Soldier we are going to have Steb, On your roamer, I believe it is going to be a ringer for tonight for Paul. I think it's Amity, if I'm
I think
correct.
Amity is actually rostered on their team
Oh,
now,
is he?
so
Okay, gotcha. Okay, so a rostered on their team, and then demo is going to be Aiden, and then on medic is going to be Windows XP.
Windows XP is on an undefeated IM team. The timeline is breaking,
Yeah, I
tearing
know.
apart at the
We'll
seams.
see if that could
Something
change
isn't
tonight.
right.
I mean, history itself, and I think God himself would not want Windows XP to win IM undefeated. So, you know, this will be the time to show it right now, as I think this is going to be probably the most tense match for both of these teams right now.
Yeah, I think, especially knowing that you could lose your undefeated status with this, there's a lot on the line. Not, I mean, granted, it's only week 4. One loss doesn't really dictate the rest of the season, but it could signal a shift in momentum if your team is, just a little bit unstable with, how they take losses or something like that. But I'm sure both of these teams are strong in the mental department. I don't think they have too much issue with taking a loss. And I mean, if they do take a loss here, it's going to be something like 4-5. Genuinely,
Yeah,
I think
really
it's going to be
think
so
it is.
close that it might not even be or it might as well be a loss.
I really don't think that there's really any possibility of there being a sweep tonight. I mean, mark my words, obviously, but I would genuinely be really surprised if I didn't see this go to obviously max map timer and a really close score. So, um, yeah, I mean, really looking forward to see what both these teams have. I think kind of what I'm expecting for these mids is going to see a lot of poking and prodding and not a lot of fast bombs early on. I'm just guessing we're going to see a lot of teams trying to figure themselves out and figure out what the enemy team wants to do as their main game plan, see if there's any sort of repeatable habits that they can punish, stuff like that. But I do really want to keep my eyes on, especially the demo men on mid. I think that the damage that they get is going to be the most easy thing to walk off of for the entire team. So I think that's really going to matter as if these teams are going to, actually try to have some sort of proactive mids going on.
True. That said, we do have 12 in the server. So I think at this point, we're just waiting on the other teams to ready up, and we'll try to get the video James going on as quickly as possible.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But like you said, yeah, the demo men on this mid gonna be something to look out for. I am someone who subscribes to the theory that first sticky of a mid kind of describes how the mid is gonna go, because if your sticky's off, your mid's probably gonna be off. You don't have that early damage. There's nothing for you to really work off of initially. And there's nothing that kind of like entices your players to lurch forward that extra little bit. But if you hit that first sticky, you get that nice fat like 50, 80 damage onto, the combo or the beam or the demo, then you have something that your players want to, push forward. You have something they want to fight for and maybe get that free pick, or at least make it so they can struggle to actually push up that mid, especially with how Snake is, how it's like 2 low grounds converging into 1 central high ground. I think more maps need to have mids like that, personally.
Yeah,
but
I think it's a really cool mechanic. I mean, and it really shows that this map has been played for so long, and there's still a lot of depth to it that is still figured out. Obviously, you can say it's solved to some degree, but there's a lot of different ways that you can interpret the map as well. So, that's part of why the reason I've loved watching this map so much. Despite its holds and all that, is that it's such a unique take on just a TF2 map that it really tells a lot about a team's perspective and how prepared they are as well, right? I mean, shows your experience, it shows how good your solo mechanics are. It really just has it all.
And especially that transition period from, you need to get in from second into last. It shows how good your coordination is as well as, a 6-man unit. Because a lot of teams where they struggle trying to push into Snakewater last, it's not that the fact that, they can't figure out where they're supposed to be positioning. 9 times out of 10, they're in the right spot, but they're just not, communicating where they am. They're not communicating what they want to do. So there's a whole lot of there's a whole lot of stuff going on in Snakewater that kind of just makes it, I would argue, it should be the cookie cutter map. I think it's better than Process, in my opinion. This is kind of where you learn, like, team fundamentals more so than just, mechanical fundamentals, which
For
is
sure.
what Process is kind of heavy focused on, because it's such a simple map. It's basically fully solved.
I mean, the thing about this map as well is it kind of feels like a map that you play more on like casual, right? Where it just has these really wide open spaces that you can play around with. But obviously, it's just a calm map that has so much depth to it that, you really never see two of the same matches on this map twice. So,
Yeah.
yeah, just one of the more solid maps that we have in our rotation right now. So glad it's going to be a good important match like this for the IM division that's going to be decided, as I think as most, if not all, of the players are ready in the server right now. I think that some people were taking a little pee before they got started. I know the nerves are getting to them, so should be going live here any second now.
And adding on to Snakewater being a kind of map that, people playing casual, a lot of people pub it, people pug it. People just play it for fun, to troll, to play serious. I mean, there's a whole bunch of ways people play it. And it's one of those maps that when you finally see your issue, you have like one of those moments where you're just like, oh, and you like tap your head and you're like, that's what we're doing wrong. And then you can like immediately correct it.
Mhm.
Whereas with maps like maybe Reckoner or Gully come to mind, where a lot of the issues are more nuanced. You can't really just kind of see like, oh, that's what happened.
A
You
equals
can't
B
kinda...
sort of thing, yeah.
Yeah. It's not as simple. It's not a 2 + 2 = 4 kind of situation with those. They're thrown in like letters into the equation there, and you have to like solve for X for some of those. So it is a little bit more simple, but that's kind of the beauty of it. There's beauty in simplicity.
100%. I mean, I don't know. Do we have predictions running right now? I don't know who I can bug to really get predictions going on this, but I kind of want to see it happen before we go live here.
We need to let the people gamble.
We've talked about this match for a little bit. Last minute predictions, if you have to choose one, who do you think is taking this?
I gotta go with my heart. I gotta go with 6-8 Club. I gotta go with Chocolate, Doorknob, Sempar, Johnny combo. Just taking it home. I played with all 4 of them. I just know him too well to not root for him. So...
And, this isn't even me trying to pick the other side. I genuinely do think that the DM from, Classic Mix-Up is going to probably bring them the W here. I think that's really going to actually matter right here because, it's just going to be a little bit more of a fist fight compared to their normal matches, right, where they're just playing and scrims are off, without eyes on them. So I really do think that the DM is actually going to pull out for them, especially on the mids. And I think they will bring this together. Final score? What are you thinking?
It's got to be something close. The thing is that these teams are going to be so flexible that I don't know that I completely lost my train of thought after I heard the countdown start. Sorry. I don't think we're going to see the scores go to, full like five caps. I think we're going to see something like 4-3.
4-3.
It would in favor of 6-8 in my honest thoughts.
I think we're going to be sitting around there. We're going to the first mid now. I mean, eyes on the demo man, like we were talking about as well. So I really want to see what sort of damage comes out early. Nothing really establishing yet, like I was talking about. Sort of a slower mid where teams are just poking and prodding. Amity is going for a fade bomb as well, not really committing for something. And 2x4 bombing on the left house. He's going to go get himself a pick as well, but nothing really committing too deep on the medic or anything. Some good damage going out on the blue side as well, but with one pick going down and nothing as a rebuttal pick, that's going to be a 1 mid for 6-8 Club right now. Even Ubers with only 1 pick down, so Steb is going to be rolling out
going in onto the beam, 1 rocket, and that's Chocolate following up. The force comes out from the side of Windows XP. They're walking forward into lower, and they're not going to be able to catch anything with it. That's going to make it full ad for 6-8 Club here. And
doesn't
now
look like Windows really stepped the correct way. He had to force that Uber like super early, but with the blue Uber not coming out as well, this is going to be a really, really scary scenario for the rest of Classic Mix-Up as Surf Brain to last right now with complete full Uber disad, trying to build up a gun right now, but it's all on them to sort of make something happen. Otherwise, Blue Team is just going to walk all over them with this full Uber.
Cyrus playing sniper on the right side might be able to squeeze out a frag just before, things get bad. I think Chocolate spotted the sniper dot, though, so he might be known, he might be caught, but that Uber is going to come out through the shutter door, and they're going to cut over hard to the left side. Jello Jiggler going to be trapping off the left side spawn here, and that's going to be Step bombing over towards Sheet Metal, and he's going to land on it, getting no damage really, but that's Sempar already dead. Main caller down. Pudis on point. Pudis power, 450 HP. Fat rushes man, body blocking everything. Yeah, they managed to stabilize it, and Dornov is going to crater there, and that is going to be a beefed push for 6 Hate Club. That's, fortunately for Classic Mix-Up, going to be something they can at least try to salvage and recover from. I don't think they have to worry about any attempts at a back cap. I think all 4 are forward, so Classic Mix-Up is going to be able to steal away second points and get ready to refight mid with full Uber ad.
Now here's the scary part, right? I mean, pushing out of second right now, this can be the area where you can get your Uber forced out a lot of the time, so having to be really careful right now. The Window's coming out on Bats right now with the rest of his team barreling forward as well. I mean, trying to take a very slow
doing the high
angle
bomb,
as well.
Landing on lower, one rocket onto Windows, but it's not quite enough.
Not going to be enough for Chocolate. I mean, I really like how they're slowly plotting through and actually taking this Uber ad all the way. They're already walking in through Saw for the side of Classic Mix-Up as well. They still want to use this Uber ad while they can if there's something that they can actually, look for as a kill, but instead, they're going to bring this all the way back from their last to the enemy team's last right now, capping up on the enemy team's second. Very, very great swing for them. Usually you would see from sort of an invite level team where a lot more restraint on pushing out of that second, a lot more fear about it of someone getting in for a force. But prepping into second now with a lot of people already in through as well. I mean, I see one of the scouts already shoving in through left side as Amity does get a kill. Really solid kill for them as well. The Ubers are evening out, but this does give a little bit of an opportunity right now for the rest of Classic Mix-Up to choose if they want to get a sack in right now, as they are coming in through the right side right now. Stab is going to be all the way up in the air right now, going in for a deep bomb on Doorknob, who's going to get the reset and spawn right now. All the rest of blue team is going to be all on their own right side right now.
Without using Uber and that cap time, though.
Yeah, they're all on back right now for the blue team, as Cyrus is already edging a point. They don't even use it on point, and without a single person dying on the blue team, they get the cap off. I don't know if that was a mixed communication of who was going to the point, a lot of noise are going on or whatever, but the rest of the blue team all huddled in one side of the map, not really committing to anything there, and then just eventually getting walked over. So that's going to be 1-0 going into the second mid right now.
Yeah, it's an unfortunate display from 6 Hate Club, but it is only the first round. There's 25 minutes plus overtime left to go, so time will tell who will take home this game, but that's going to be Steb and Amity coming in with the high bomb from the right side. Amity going to opt to land on the high ground here. They're going to lose Jello Jiggler. That's going to be the demo gone for 6 Hate Club, and they're going to decide it's better to leave than stay in and feed any more players. They want to keep that beam alive for as long as possible, knowing they're down around now. Wow. They've got to try and play a little bit more carefully, make sure that things are getting through. Maybe they want to slow down just overall.
Complete inverse from for the first minute that we saw as well, right? I mean, like the fast aggression, as well as Amity already really fight high on the bats as well. It's going to be forcing out Doorknob, hopefully getting focused down. He does get focused down by Jello Jiggler, but nothing really else to follow yet. No other picks, so it looks like the rest of Classic Mix-Up is choosing to hightail out of lower right now. Sort of take their one attempt as just that one attempt and sort of reset right now. The rest of blue team right now, I mean, 6's Hate Club is already barreling in through Saw right now. Really like to see this aggression as 2x4 in by himself. Might be getting focused down by some scouts, but is trying to make some space, but nobody else from 6's Hate Club is able to get through on that. So, another one pick back. It looked a little bit dry and a little bit lack of pressure on that other counter sack from 2x4, but still a sack nonetheless. So it's going to put the ball back in the court of Classic Mix-Up to figure out what sort of sack they want to do here.
I mean, they can't really get anyone through window here. They've got Chocolate kind of locking it down rather well, and that's going to be a lot of players kind of just spread out here. It looks like they're wanting to come through Saw here. Chocolate bombing forward and getting... He is going to trade out with Cyrus, and that's a soldier for a scout. Not the best trade in the world, but could be worse. Could have got nothing. So
yeah, for sure.
That's going to be, I believe, Amity bombing forward. Going to land on the logs, but they're going to get taken down. Not enough damage coming out for a force, and that's Classic Mix-Up kind of forced to play all the way back on mid.
Yeah,
6-8 Club
Cyrus
barreling
is
in
rolling
out
now, so they're going to have to play really far back on this if they're going to want to try to hold mid at all, but trying to sort of poke and prod right now, but it's going to be really, really hard for them to sort of see anything. We want to see them get out without losing any picks. Aiden's taken very low, but is able to get out in the end. Not really any commits going in on mid as well, but you know, sort of just a handshake agreement of, hey, we're going to leave mid. We recognize that you have the pick on us. You have it, man. You can take that. We're going to hold second here and be content with it.
And I mean, hey, you kept your beam alive. You're sitting on 2 with, you know, even Ubers here, so you couldn't ask for, you know, a better outcome to that situation. All things considered,
easily.
that's going to be
2x4.
Bombing into Cheese, getting Steb, going to collect that kill. A nice little domination to add to his collection. Steb is now down, but that's a 1-for-1 there, soldier for soldier. So, going to be interesting to see what the teams decide to do now. I'm not sure if 6-8 Club wants to try and take in the aggression, or if they want to just, you know, sit back and chill for a little bit.
You could send Chocolate, but at the same time, then you're going to be down 2-for-1. You might have to give up mid, so I think it might just be better to wait for 2x4 to get back. You know, go for another sort of coordinated play where you're trying to get your soldier through. But yeah, these sort of small plays right here of how they're going to choose to approach these sacks and if the rockets are actually connecting is going to decide how this round is going. But 2x4 immediately in through Cheese as well, going to make a lot of space, going in for Step, and he does just stomp him into the ground. Traded out by Abominamicon in the end, but you know, again, he goes through this play and he's getting something off of it. The 1-for-1, it doesn't look like it's very actionable for 6-8 Club, so I like the play a lot. Obviously, he's going to get the kill on the soldier every single time. He's shown it twice now, but without anything else to really come from it, it sort of just seems like sort of a limp play.
Yeah.
A little subpar.
The sacks from both teams here are looking a little soft, a little weak. So hopefully we get to see something change. It looks like the combo on the side of 6-8 Club gonna try and rotate down towards lower and maybe pressure for a sack out through Saw or something, but nobody's really pushing forward. Chocolate finally walking out, but he's immediately taken down by oh, beautiful rocket from Amity, just sitting on top of the pipe, anticipating that play. And I think Classic Mix-Up wants to move in off of this pick. They're walking in through lower, and they're getting some pressure through Saw. Amity bombing out through
Amity,
Saw, landing on the height, on the left side height, now on the mid side of 6-8 Club, but she's going to get taken down there, and there's just not a whole lot she can do there. And I mean, for Classic Mix-Up here, it looked like they wanted to push, but they just never fully committed, so they lost Amity, and they kind of just immediately backed out, like right after, so...
Yeah, again, it looks a little bit difficult for them to make any sort of actionable play happen as we're winding down to 1:20 on this match timer. So unless there's some sort of massive play that's going to happen here off of the SunPower pick, we might just see this really start to slow down, some sort of exchange happen. But with all of Classic Mix-Up trying to get through their lower, they're taking so much spam from all these rockets and all these stick right now. Cyrus is probably going to go down. Yeah, he's going to go down though. I mean, the rest of his team is not able to support him.
Again.
Minute left on the match, right? I mean, back and forth, one pick for one pick. What's going to really come of this right now is, you know, obviously a little scary having the scout down. I mean, one less person to deny the soldier if 2x4 is able to get through, and 2x4 does get through. Gets a lot of damage on the soldier.
I'm landing onto XP going to get forced there. Finally, something comes out from the sack, and that's going to be such a good situation for 6-8 Club. They don't even have to use yet. Abominamicon's not really able to get anything. SunPower might actually be able to take him down. Gonna get taken down on the bridge there. Nice little late death. Not gonna be up to help defend last. Aiden's gonna get that, I think,
nice
blind debt onto SunPower.
Full disad. We saw this before with the full disad, right? I mean, before Classic Mix-Up was able to pull it up at the skin of their teeth. I mean, they didn't lose anybody even, so not even skin of their teeth. Like, they had a really dominant hold, so gonna be on 6-8 Club to actually have some sort of dominant push here where they can really net around right now. As they are going in, using the Uber immediately and running it right across the side. They're gonna be met with a level 3 sentry and a heavy as well, so they're gonna have to be focusing down 2 major targets. They do focus down the sentry of the heavy is still alive.
He's gonna get taken down here probably. No, he's not. Finally gets taken down from a lock pipe from Jello, unlock
but it's too late. I mean, again, what we said, right? I mean, it seems like they had a really hard time of actually making something actionable happen with the Uber, right? Be it adrenaline or just be it the game plan, they pop through the doorway early enough, and having to run all the way across to the other side of the point, running into a heavy and running into a sentry, it's going to be really, really hard to make that Uber work in your favor. To actually net you some sort of kills, and in that meantime, while they're trying to focus down 3 separate targets, they lose 3 themselves. But on the back end, 2x4 tries to go in for Windows. Windows hits a nice little mini surf, able to hold on to this little Uber ad that they have right now. Is the Uber ad is going to be slightly evening out right now as Classic Mix-Up is walking into mid right now. 90% now for 68 Club, so we might see them actually want to sort of contest this, take an exchange. Steb is going to get a nice little rocket onto Johnny though, so that's going to be really delayed scout death. 18 seconds on that guy.
Spotting through that window. They know that they're all basically sitting on top of second. That's going to be Aiden and I believe Cyrus pushing forward. Aiden going to get taken down though. No demo. This push is really bad. Steb and Amity both super weak. That's going to be 2 kills. Sempar and 2x4 are going to be cleaning up those soldiers on the side of Classic Mix-Up. And I mean, you got mid, but at what cost? You lost 3 players. You couldn't push into 2. You at least have even Ubers, but is it even possible to hold 2 at this rate? You got your demo forward, but will your soldiers be able to spawn in? I think they will. So second might be holdable.
Oh,
I think they do.
Yep, they sure do.
Just barely getting forwards.
Lovely.
There.
Yeah, I mean, it makes it a lot easier to hold second now. We'll see if 68 Club recognizes that they didn't get this sort of deny. It looks like they are, so just sort of slowing down, looking for that sort of pressure sack that they've been shown that they wanted to do over and over. It's going to be on 2x4 right now. I'm really on his cam to see what sort of sack he has cooked up, because it seems like he is the certified sacker for the team. So we'll have to see, if they have some sort of new mix-up instead of him just jumping into cheese and going for that 1-for-1 exchange, right? I mean, you would really hope to see something proactive and going for some sort of a med bomb here. We haven't seen a lot of forces,
in comes Chocolate, gonna fade
but
towards lower. 2x4 coming in through the chaos. 1 rocket onto Windows XP. 2 rockets onto Windows XP. He's gonna get that drop.
Oh
Huge.
My God.
Aiden not quick enough with the reaction, not going to be able to take down 2x4 in time. He is going to get the kill for it, but at what cost? They're going to be able to get a debt onto Johnny as well, making 68 Club drop as many players as possible before they can even walk into 2. But it doesn't matter. You lost that Uber.
If they can get into 2 without
over.
forcing to doorknob or without forcing doorknob or anything, this is going to look very, very scary again, right? I mean, full disad, Windows XP shut down, so having that sort of major drop happen, we would expect to see some sort of major ad push, but they've shown twice now that they actually have this sort of disad last hold down. So
I think they're
going to
getting ready to use in through the left side here.
Yeah,
they're magnetized towards their demo. They get that sentry down before using their
Uber.
Milking. Good bit of coordination there, but the Ubers are starting to even out for the side of Classic Mix-Up. It finally gets popped on the left side over by Truck. Steb's going to be trying to bomb forward, but he's going to land on the shiny people. No cap time really for the side of 68 Club, and they're not really able to get any either because there's so many players on the side of Classic Mix-Up, but they're finally getting more. They Uber on top of the point for the side of Classic Mix-Up, and that's going to be a bunch of players caught for the side of 68 Club. The demo caught on the right side.
Family, though. This is going to be scary.
They're walking forward. He's just getting cap time for free.
But
It's only Aiden sitting on top of the point. It's a 3v3.
Spawners
now happening right on top of the point. The spawners
are
coming in. That's going to be a bomb coming out from the side of Amity. And that's going to be a round squeezed out from a nice little chaos play by Sempar, able to just walk forward and take that point away.
That looked really back and forth, right? I mean, obviously that play all comes down from the drop from Windows, right? I mean, 2x4 was able to live and get that reload off in that 5th rocket, it seemed like. So that sort of drop coming off into this sort of last hold, right? We would expect to see some sort of a flubbed last hold like we saw the last 2 times, but really getting it together. They took that really, really slow exchange. Almost looked pretty terrifying as they could have gotten counter used on, but in all of the chaos, they are able to keep their composure, keep their players alive all the way on the enemy's last
Amity
point.
Going towards the right side here. Both soldiers meeting up. That's 2x4 hitting a
nice
great
little
rocket onto Amity, and that's going to be 1 soldier down. Doorknob going to get taken down by Aiden here. That's no med for the side of 68 Club, that's no
major.
med for the side of 68 Club. Classic Mix-Up going to back their beam out through Saw.
This is the first time we've seen a med pick really on mid, right? I mean, the meds have been pretty stable this entire game right now, so having Doorknob down is pretty major on this. Even if they are losing the mid, you would expect to see Classic Mix-Up have some sort of dominant play. They took their ad all the way to the enemy team's last at one point, so really hoping
to know about Johnny inside of lower. Nope, they finally spot him.
No,
that's
now
going
they
to be
see
Steb. And 3 people going down for him. Amity going to get the coup de grace, going to kill him with that final rocket. Going to be deleting him from the game. That's a 15-second respawn.
Yeah.
And Classic Mix-Up going to get that mid without even having to consider using their Uber, besides that scary bomb coming in from, I believe it was 2x4 into their Saw. So 68 Club now going to be playing by their bats here, probably considering just leaving if they see, more than 3 of their players pushing out.
Forwards. Gonna swap off.
Yeah, he swaps off. I think he's just there to try and scare them, maybe make them paranoid. Gonna try to go Pyro and clear those stickies, but The default taunt comes out, and that's Seb going down. So we're going to take him out of the equation.
Windows
Johnny going to get the back spawn. Oh!
Holy shit! Crazy rocket from 2x4 drops Windows XP all the way out and lower. Bomb back from Amity. Oh, super close on that airshot attempt from to Doorknob right there. So it looked like it could have been 2 meta airshots back to back, but you know, 2 drops now from Windows XP is going to make it really, really scary. And blue team with their full Uber, I mean, they've shown now that they haven't figured out they're going to bring this full Uber all the way to last. So they need to get some sort of force down if you're on the side of Classic Mix-Up, right? I mean, otherwise it's looking pretty dire for you.
Absolutely. I mean, if I was in this situation, it would be either me or my roamer sitting somewhere in like kitchen or something, waiting for a spot call where their beam is, so we could try and maybe get a force and make it as hard as possible for them to get into 2. But it looks like we're going to see Classic Mix-Up decide they don't want to really take that fight into them. They just want to try and get even Ubers as quickly as possible so they can hold last, which I think is the more advantageous position here. That's going to be 6-8 Club taking as much space in lobby as they can. They're going to immediately try and come out right side. That Uber gets popped. The sniper is there, but it's not quite in time, and that's going to be the sentry going down. Siggy's all over the point, but Sempar's going to be clearing it. They're just edging it away.
So much
Amity on top of the point, and now Steb meeting them there, but there's so much time. They don't have to really worry about that. 2x4 going to be blowing himself up there, trying to save himself from cratering, but not quite worth. Johnny waiting for this chaos to, you know, be over so we can walk in through the shutter side, but I don't think they're going to be able to with 1 player down and no picks for the side of 6-8 Club.
Great restraint from the main calls and the medic of Classic Mix-Up to not use that Uber immediately on last as well, so they now have that to work with to try to push out with. I mean, Cyrus going down is going to make it a lot harder, but you know, you would usually expect to see in some sort of chaos comms, especially on a lower level, right? There'd be a little bit more you know, chaos on that Uber. As soon as the Meg gets the Uber, he's going to pop it immediately, but instead just holding on to it right now. Doorknob is going to be evening out, but
we have a spy.
I think we do have a spy. 2x4 has been the one going and killing the med. We'll see if he continues his track record on killing meds on the spy class of all things.
We have Kevin McLeod, sneaky snitch, ready to play. Can we get production to pull that up and get on the 2x4 cam while we watch him slowly creep up through lower? Gonna be walking over towards Shaq. He's just kind of sitting there getting as much info as humanly possible. They know they have that gun inside the banny spot. They know it's a level 2. So they also know it's relatively weak. 2x4 walking up towards the truck. Now he's hiding by the fence. They know that they have heathens.
They look a little spyware.
Yeah, I think they're starting to get a little paranoid. I think they know there's a Frenchie afoot, and they're
2x4 goes for the decloak. He beats one
stab onto Aiden. He's gonna get taken down by the sentry.
And he is not Donovan on the soldier spy, dude. I mean, he does not bring it home on that stab. It looks like a pretty assured stab, but 1 pick going down for 2x4, still even Uber. So you know, it's really, really hard to get out of the snake water last on a pick like that or something like that. So probably it's going to be slowing down here unless something crazy happens. Might be some more off-class attempts before this round ends, but I would really expect to see on the side of Classic Mix-Ups that they want to actually just slow down, take this minute and 40 off the round timer, go back to mid, try to have another solid mid, because they've had these really good bombs as well. They were able to kill Doorknob on mid as well, so you know, I honestly expected to see them kind of lame it out, right?
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you gotta play lame. Their soldier knows that their beam is going up towards lobby through lower, so their, you know, element of surprise I think that they thought they had is now gone, but it looks like they're trying to get ready.
Obama
Wow. Obama Namacon with the shotgun. Do not mess with this man.
2x4, but nice little shotgun aim from Obama Namacon as well, keeping himself alive and getting that pick. Amity isn't super deep on the medic, but is now going to be able to get that first rocket off, surfed away immediately and cleaned up by Johnny in the back half. But really solid, you know, reverse sack attempt that we wouldn't even see from somewhere in someone from the EU region, might I say.
Yeah, I don't think we'd see that in an ETF2L game. Doorknob getting taken down to basically one. They're going to pop super early. Flashing over Sempar, and that Uber's getting stuck. The counter pop comes out onto Cyrus. WM1 Pyro walking into lobby. Doorknob caught out. He's going to get taken down, and that's the entirety of 6-8 Club backing out. 2x4 pulling up as Pudis on bridge. Doorknob and Johnny both now dead. We're watching Highlander gameplay. Amity going to get taken down. Pudis power, he's on 15 HP, he's waiting for that small pack. It's not really going to be enough to save him. Yeah, he's going to get taken down, and it's just Sempar and Chocolate inside of lobby, both one shot.
Both really low.
One nice
windows
shot.
Two shots onto
one
Windows,
rocket
really,
on
really
the
taking low.
Windows.
Chocolate is in lower, so might be going for some sort of a salvage bomb in the past time, but 2 seconds
Yeah.
before the round
Sempar
resets,
walking
a
into
lot
the
of
left side,
spaghetti,
maybe
but
trying to get some cap time for his
Yeah.
team, maybe extend the round, but
kind of
nah,
what you
it's
want
gonna
to see
reset.
if you're a fan of classic mix-up there. Them going back to mid, I mean, it's a lot easier than them trying to get out on those single-man sacks that they were trying. Even those are just a bit scary. So going back into the second mid right now, the first mid that we saw, I kind of predicted we saw a little bit more of a passive mid, but every other mid past that has been more focused on either the committal bombs or the counter bombs. We've seen 2x4 get a lot of the kills on that, so definitely eyes on these soldiers right now to see if they want to do something fast. As Amity is going all the way in the enemy's lower right now, going to be meeting up with the enemy team soldier who is getting beamed as well, so they know about the soldier behind, but
yeah.
Windows taking low as well, probably to a pipe as well, is going to be a little bit scary for the rest of Classic Mix-Up to actually make some space on point here, as the rest of the blue team
that
is
bomb
standing on
coming in
point.
from Steb. He's gonna get one rocket on
But
the
Amity-
doorknob. Maybe he gets a second one. Not quite. He's getting a lot of
But the
damage. He's
drop-
getting value. He does get that third one on the doorknob though. That's a team
Amity's
wipe.
going huge!
Oh my god,
One more though,
Amity and
Jello Jiggler
Steb
taken down.
going
Yeah.
in
That's the
together
team
here.
wipe. And
Crazy.
it seemed a little scary, right? I mean, they had the soldier behind, all the way isolated out, and they were standing on that point, holding the forward position, but not fully keeping track of the soldiers all the way behind them, and they end up on the enemy team's medic and getting even more as well. So full ad right now for the side classic mix-up. First time we've really seen them come in with this sort of full ad situation. So up to them to figure out what they want to do with this Uber, as they're sort of standing in lobby, imagining sort of a right side Uber. It is spotted out by Chocolate as well, so they're probably going to know about this Uber coming out. Walking over to lower though, so whole team jumping to lower. Johnny is here with the pyro for lower, trying to deny out Windows, but it's going to be taken out immediately. They're going to go for the gun. Sempar's gun is going to be taken down immediately.
Step
So
playing
it's
on the
2
left
picks.
side, bombing up to
Sempar
Shaq.
dying
If
and
I
spawn
do
as
that work.
well. 3 picks as well. Amity is going to clean up another, so it's going to be very dire for the rest of the blue team. 6-8 Club is crumbling right now, as they just have their 2 explosives on point right now. Jello Jiggler hits a nice little lock and load pipe, and it looks like Steb is going to be here to clean up the rest. He does, he bombs on point, and the rest of the scouts are able to get on point. It's going to be 2-1 now on the favor of Classic Mix-Up going into this next mid. Again, like I said, their game plan is kind of going how they wanted, right? Classic Mix-Up didn't push out a less. They really wanted to play this mid. They had an amazingly dominant mid plan with a new strategy that we hadn't seen yet this match, and works out for them and nets them around in their favor. So really solid to see is, that's some more adept sort of gameplay there.
Absolutely. Jello Jiggler getting a mid real early, really quick rollout there. Gonna get some early damage onto the combo, but Steb not gonna care for it. Gonna bomb forward with the help of Amity. He's gonna try and get away towards Cat, but he is gonna get taken down. Amity there living it instead of trying to commit. That's gonna be Abominamicon getting taken down as well. And that's gonna be Classic Mix-Up instead of, trying to play forward here and maybe get a pick. They're just going to try and leave, keep those Ubers as even as possible, just spot them into 2 and go back to their last. This is a stark contrast, an actual mirror to the kind of gameplay we saw during the last round, where
Exactly, but Windows XP is still alive right now, so that is a big difference maker, right? I mean, obviously no full ad to work with, but being shut back to your last is going to be really scary. 2x4 is immediately stuffed through that door, going for an early sack as well, but, Soldier's already in lobby as well. I'm getting on the Soldier cams right now. Is Steb already getting shoved out in lobby, but Amity might go for a bomb here, sort of in the cheese area. Is going to decide to back off, not try to get picked off himself, but, again, really, really good counter aggression from them, immediately trying to go off of these picks. Even if it is a bit scary, they are still sending it, and I love to see that.
yeah, I do think that teams lower or out of region from NA, they don't really consider sending it, even if it, when it gets scary. They don't like to take risks like that, but we're seeing a lot of the things that people like to see, when they're watching the games, that we like to see when we're casting. People are taking those risks, and that's going to be 2x4, bombing in over to Truck. Going to take down Abominamicon, and he is going to spot that sentry in the Banny spot. He's going to live with that pick as well.
And she dead.
Yeah, with no NG, they can kind of just sit here and spam that gun, but with Cyrus sitting on top of it...
But Jello Jiggler gets taken down from a crazy pipe through right side of lobby from Aiden, probably just goes all the way through the rest of the lobby right now with this broken weapon. I mean, his unlock of his that, goes all the way through lobby and is able to pick off that Demoman by itself.
Yeah, petition to ban the lock and load. Can we get that?
I'd sign it.
Can we get a petition that's like save TF, but like... ban.lock.
Save comp TF2.
Can we get like a subsection on the website for banning the lock and load?
Yeah, I don't
But-
know what we need. I don't know what change.org I need to sign, but I'd love to see it. Anyways, though, I
yeah.
mean that demo pick though, regardless of if it's legitimately gotten or not, I mean, it's still major right now. It's going to cause a lot of a slowdown for this last hold, right? We saw it before where Classic Mix-Up, they do want to send out the single sec if they are getting picks, but very content to just sit here on Snakewater last, right? I mean, you can be very dominant with this Century Pyro hole that they have going on.
The Century Pyro hold very strong. I thought for a while they were going for the Uncle Dane tech, the fabled theory that level 2 shoot faster. But no, they level it up to level 3 there, and that's going to be Sempar switching over to Sniper, going to be able to take down Aiden there, and that's going to be the space that 6-8 Club needs to try and get forward through. Chocolate going to bomb forward. He is stuck by the truck. He is going to be taken down. Sempar going to be deleted as well. The Uber does come out from both teams here, and it is going to be back to evens, and 6-8 Club not going to be trying to push any further forward. They
Amity
just want to
sees the
chill.
opportunity though, sees the 2 picks down, and is trying to go for something aggressive in lobby, is going to try to run up the cheese, met with Johnny immediately in the face, and is going to be taking down super low HP, so that's probably going to sort of quell the counter aggression, right? But even Ubers again, right? I mean, welcome to Snakewater last. Pyro and Enchi coming out, so 1 minute left in this round timer with 3 minutes remaining in the map itself, right? So really hoping to see some sort of aggro plays come out before we do take over.
Yeah, 50 seconds left on that round timer, 2 minutes 50 until banny time kicks in. And I feel like we have time to explain. So, actually, maybe not. It does look like they're probably going to try and get through lower. I'm not sure. I want to explain.
Maybe trying for an exchange right now.
Yeah, I think they might be looking to get an exchange just with the time here being so low, and I think we're going to see that they're coming out through the right side. The Uber does get popped on the side
Super
of 6-8
early.
Club. Counter pop coming out through the side of Windows XP. The Uber is really bad. I would
Jello
call this
Jiggler
a poober,
splats.
and they're immediately backing out. They get nothing out of it. Jello Jiggler going to get taken down. It might be Aiden getting deleted though, but no, nice arrow from XP. Going to be saving him and keeping this last hold alive. The Spirit is not yet dead, and that's going to be Johnny and Sempar both playing on the left side. I don't think they know about Sempar sitting on the barrels here, waiting for his
I
time
don't
to
know.
shine. Booking it in through Shutter? No, he's going to back out. They're just going to let this round reset. They
Yeah,
know
sure
about
are.
Chocolate by the truck, but they're not going to try and bother him. And that's going to leave us with a minute 50, just enough time for maybe one quick speedrun round. And
Could be.
we're going
It
to
would
go
have to
into
be
banny
really
time.
dominant. I mean, it could be a really dominant mid, like you said. Like if they get this fat mid going on, bring it all the way to last, we could see a round come out before banning time slap. Would be pretty major, but probably just going to see this tick over. Both of these teams are probably nerves high. They figured out what the other team really wants to do. They have their solid plan set. It's actually up to them to sort of have some sort of a mix-up right now, right? Because we've seen the aggressive bombs be shut down time and time again, but
Steb gonna try and get that bomb anyway, and that's gonna
Really
be a little bit of
deep.
lag coming in. I don't know if that messed up the bomb or what, but Steb gonna be taking down Jello Jiggler there, and that's gonna be 2x4 getting taken down. Amity gonna get taken down as well. Two dead
Jello Jiggler
for
down.
both teams.
Chocolate
Yeah.
is going to be going for his
Oh!
salvage. It's cleaned up as well in the end, but yeah, I mean, Demo going down is going to be so major as that's such a lack of damage for the rest of 6-8 Club to play around in this mid with. So looks like it's going to be sort of a one mid for the red team as well, barreling onto second. It doesn't seem like they really want to slow down with this aggression.
Jello Jiggler
Windows
gonna get
is
taken
gonna-
down again.
Yeah, that's a really nice pick. Having the demo that is actually might be playable for them to get into last year. We still have 45 seconds until banning time right now, so if they play this perfectly, this could be the end of the map right now if they really play their Uber correctly. Jello Jiggler is going to be back up in 6 seconds, so
Sempar
might
still
be
repping the sniper,
overstaying.
peeking out, almost dies. He's still playing sniper. He really wants
Still
to get that
trying.
peek.
He really
He's
wants
gonna
it.
resup on sniper. Poot is coming up from the right side. So much cap time coming out for the side of Classic Mix Up here, but all of the players are on the left side of 6-8 Club's point here, so they're kind of
Except
separated
for the
from each
knee
other.
bomb.
Windows XP going to be walking across
And
the
they
point
take
with
the
the Uber.
solo
The
scout.
pop finally comes out from the side of 6-8 Club. It's a little bit better, but not by
Not much.
That Uber gonna fade out. They have
Amity!
no soldiers. Amity getting
Fat
some
damage
fat
on the heavy.
damage. That's gonna be a round win, maybe just before
2
banning
seconds.
time. No.
And they cap!
They squeeze out the final round. They wait for banning time to come in before they cap, so they don't have to worry about
Jeez, the
an extra
banning
round.
time.
Yeah, and they're gonna cheese that win away. And I mean, I guess I was wrong. 6-8 Club is going to lose Snakewater 1-3. Classic Mix-Up going to be taking home that
Wow.
W, and Classic Mix-Up is going to remain as your undefeated IM team for now.
Wow. What an actual match, right? I mean, it looks like both of these teams were just playing such fundamental TF2, right? But just these tiny little macro decisions, right? And how willing the teams are really, able to run forward with this sort of tiny advantages that they're getting, right? I mean, they're walking forward all the way to the enemy's team's last off of like 20 ad or something like that. So shows a lot of, prowess of having aggression, actually. So yeah, no, big ups to Classic Mixup taking home the W right now. I imagine that's got to feel really good for them as, being undefeated right now in IM is going to set you up really well in terms of seeding if you can keep this up for the rest of the season. So, yeah, looking very, very solid.
Yeah, it is looking solid. I mean, not only for Classic Mix-Up here is it looking solid, it's also looking extremely solid for 6-8 Club here. And I do think we are going to see these two rematch for a grand final. I think that's what we're going to see.
They all looked good. I mean, 6-8 Club has such strong players on it, right? And we saw the soldiers were doing crazy damage. Jeller Jiggler was getting crazy kills as well. I mean, it would have been really, really easy for either of these teams to actually just won a home, but sort of with just these sort of slight macro decisions to take it all the way home, right? Looking over at the log right now, it kind of reflects of what I'm saying, where wasn't too crazy of a pop-off match for any specific player, but instead more of just some more slow plotting gameplay, really pushing towards their advantages as well. But oh my gosh, actually, there are two star players pulling it up right now and sorting by kills right now. I'm looking at Aiden right now on the demo man, 16-3, dropping 272, highest in the lobby as well by a pretty wide margin. That's a pretty dominant performance.
Yeah, and one thing I want to comment on here is it's relatively low DPMs across the board. I mean, Aiden is kind of the outlier here with 272, the next closest one being 233, and everybody's kind of hovering around that point. I mean, it was just kind of, I mean, some people like to describe it as lame TF2, where, they're not fighting over and over left and right, constantly throwing punches at each other. But I would argue that this is probably some of the logs that you should be striving to get, because it kind of shows, at least with Classic Mix-Up here, that they're working well as a team and they're kind of coordinating their damage evenly, and they're getting these kills, they're getting these pickups. Aiden is able to just absolutely wipe the floor with everybody as well. So, I mean, 100%. There's not a whole lot of damage for everybody else to get, but yeah, it's it was definitely a match to say the absolute least.
2 drops to 0. Windows getting 2 drops from crazy 2 drops from 2x4. I remember both of those, just really nice rockets out. But not actually turning the favor as well. So again, looks very good for both of these teams going into the rest of IM, right? I mean, if you're in IM right now, these are probably the main 2 teams to look at. So going to be up to them to sort of review this match, come down from the adrenaline they just had, and just try to figure out what's going on, right? I mean, still a lot more TF2 to be played this season. We could have, our words completely nixed, right? We could see some more up and coming teams just really start to become more dominant in IM, right? I mean, I'm looking at the Shoe Shocker spreadsheet right now and trying to get my predictions right, but yeah, it'll be really, really fun to see for the rest of IM and definitely into playoffs. I really hope we get to cover some of that, but when we do, I'm expecting to see these 2 teams there.
Absolutely. Like I said, I think we're going to be seeing these teams rather rematch during grand finals. I genuinely think that is going to be something we see.
Yeah, I'd love to see it.
I don't think we want to keep the people waiting for too long, and I think our poor producer probably wants to go to bed or get something to eat or do something.
100%.
I know I'm hungry. I know I want to go make dinner. So I think we're gonna end it here. Good match. Congrats to Classic Mix-Up for taking that one home and retaining their, for now, undefeated status in IM. Hopefully they'll get to keep it through Week 4B, but time will tell. Thank you all for tuning in to the cast. We will see you next time. I've been Zach. I've been joined with Bong Gripper and Pika on production. And have a good night, everyone.
See y'all.